Sins of Wreckers, issue 2. Take 2. Um, as I, we did issue 1. The Wreckers are back. Springer's back. Buster, Guzzle, and Impactor. And then we got some new recruits in Cup. And we got some new recruits in Stakeout and Hubcap. And it looks like RC may be joining the team for this mission. Workers are still interrogating Verity. Optimus Prime, in the first page, we see Optimus Prime talking to Prowl. Telling him, congratulations for saving, Cybertron, for all your plans and everything that you did, making the tough choices that no one was willing to make. Prowl's very happy about this, he's finally getting the praise that he wanted. And he acknowledged that he felt like he deserved, and people listened to him. And he realizes it's just a dream, so, he wakes up. And then we get to see this character, Methuselah. He's got Prowl all strung up, and Prowl's still got his eye all taken out and everything like that. And then we jump to the Wreckers. Well, first we see Springer's face. Springer's which is actually, I really like this pic, so I'm going to show this off quick. We see him here, and then we go down and we see what happened to him there. So, and then we go up and we see that he's still normal and he's kind of freaking out. So, Springer's, obviously something's going on with him. It hasn't been really revealed. I guess even though he's woken up, he's still kind of remembering a lot of stuff that happened to him when his face got ripped up by Overlord, and, he's still in shock. So, he's trying to figure out what's going on, interrogating the Wreckers. He's being introduced to RC, asking various questions. RC's being, the normal psycho, I'm going to yell at you and be sarcastic against your shoulders and your brain, all that stuff, because that's just what I am, something like that. Stakeout is putting Verity's armor suit on because he's to keep her warm. RC is attacking Verity and Stakeout, blaming them, and Cup's going through something too. He's not feeling too well. Impactor asks him what's going on. Guzzle makes some jokes. Verity runs off, because he just needs some time. And so Stakeout follows her. They start talking about, their time together and why is Stakeout spending so much time with her, and why does Stakeout consider her the most important thing that he's ever done. She doesn't understand that entirely. So, and then for some reason, we seem to be getting a lot of animals in this story. A bunny shows up and steals the backpack that has the Equatus files in it. I don't know if I mentioned that last issue, but yes, the Equatus files have returned. The extra data slug that Verity had is returning, and that's what she's been using to blackmail Prowl. I don't know if I mentioned that last time, and I apologize if I didn't. She's blackmailing Prowl right now, or was. And then the bunny steals the backpack, and Stakeout chases after it. Verity goes back and, forms the others, and the others kind of make a plan. Roadbuster and Guzzle decide, not Roadbuster, Impactor and Guzzle decide to go after the bunny and, scout the area, see what's going on. They run into the polar bear. Surprisingly, they run into the polar bear that was previously seen. Guzzle shoots it. Impactor's like, you can't be shooting in its life. Then they realize that the polar bear actually can transform. And I think I jumped ahead a little bit, but it's okay. So realizes the polar bear can transform, and he gets tired, so he's like, I'm just gonna fight. Before that, jump ahead. Cup finally falls over. And he wakes up and it's Prowl on his head or something like that. And Spotlight Cup was trapped on this planet with radiation poisoning, and he killed a bunch of Autobots. He was rescued by Trollbreaker, then given a pretender kind of body shell, and then upgraded to be kind of like, and then put a safety code, something in his head, I can't remember what they called it. And so Prowl can actually override him and kind of bark orders through him. So, because he feels people will listen to Cup instead of listening to him when the time is right. But he didn't use it when it was needed. He used it to trap him inside the dead universe. And then now Cup's remembering it because Prowl's captured. Because it was never removed or anything like that. So, with Cup going through this, he starts talking to Prowl, kind of starts talking about Methuselah and all the problems that they're having. So, You can see what looks like here. So we see Cup being like possessed, and we see him kind of talking to the others. So he's talking to the others, telling them, plan and what happened to him and where he got captured and what he thinks. And so their plan is, and then he gets cut off before he can finish. We don't know why. And then we see, as I mentioned, Guzzle and Impactor, get in trouble, get attacked by Polar Bear, and they shoot it. Bunny is surprisingly fast for Stakeout. He cannot catch up to it. The bunny jumps off the cliff. They run into a giant whale. And the whale starts kind of going after him. Like, this whale is huge. And then we see, Springer kind of consoling Cup about what happened. RC's kind of, finally getting it. Okay, maybe I was over the top a little bit. So we kind of see RC's sympathy for once. And then Springer has Cap, hey, can you just get in the area and, you can't sense anything because of just us and the rest of the animals and people out here. But there's something odd. And he has to get a visual to figure out what it is. And then Roadbuster, what's the point of you anyways? And so Springer makes a plan. He's kind of freaking out a little bit. He doesn't really, his mind's not completely back. And so he's like, okay, let's go. Cup you in. And then so they all transform, very hopside Springer in helicopter mode. And, they're traveling and they're all going after to find the opening to this place that Prowl was captured. We get a good glimpse of a few of the guys. There's a few of the villains. One's a wolf. Apparently his name is Springer in helicopter mode. And then there's Verity and Springer kind of are talking about, Garrus 9 and what they're seeing. We see that Springer remembers, did he dream when he was in this comatose state? And Verity's like, and Springer's like, not the same for humans. It's not the same for us, it's for humans. But yes, I did. And she asked what he saw. I see red. And he saw red because that's pretty much the last thing he saw. And then you see the image of Overlord's hand kind of coming down really fast and slicing off his face. And that's what he sees. And then we see this wolf using some kind of weird sonic ability to knock him out of the sky. And that's what the wolf does. And so he forces him to transform. The wolf is Carnivac. Is that what his name is? Which is really cool if it is Carnivac. Yeah, his name is Carnivac, and he's part of the Mayhems. So it's kind of cool, that we're getting Carnivac in this. One of the major members of the Mayhem attack squad, and we're getting a few other guys. So, and then the other record. So Springer's kind of paralyzed right now after being taken up by and being talked to by Carnivac. So, and then Road Impactor and Guzzle show up and kind of play hero, and Guzzle kind of rips apart the polar bear guy, rips him in half, but spews out this stuff on him. Now the other wreckers, Cup, RC, Roadbuster, Hubcap, begin seeing these animals, and they begin transforming. So more beast bots are transforming. We get a squid, and we get a shark, and we get a bunny, and they're all, fighting the wreckers. And the whale's getting pounded on, so. And then Guzzle gets this weird infected by this weird goo that comes out of the polar bear, and he starts going crazy. Springer asks what's going on, and after he kind of wakes up and all he's doing kill crazy. And so Springer has an idea. Let's use it and point him in the right direction. So though, instead of just getting Guzzle out of the fight, he decides to use that to their advantage. So then we see, this is kind of a lot of stuff going on right now. Then we see Tidal Wave, who was part of the Transformers Armada and Energon storyline, show up. He's a giant whale, and he is angry. So he transforms into his tank mode, and they're all fighting and shooting. And Springer, Impactor, and Guzzle finally catch up to the rest. And Springer and RC actually looks at Springer and says, "Your eyes, they look so blue, so alive." So we see this part here where they really made Springer look really awesome, I think. And then we get to see what's his name, Tidal try to transform him. Apparently he can't, because apparently his face was taken off or something like that. So then we get to see all the Wreckers kind of shooting at the bad guys. So we see the Wreckers, like, all fighting, and, and they finally realize, oh, that might be the entrance. The whatever this place that Prowl was talking about, regular sized bots. So, Springer tasks Cup and Impactor and Guzzle to stay behind while the rest go inside. Cup's kind of upset about that, but he kind of gets it. So we see them talking, kind of like, and then they capture one of them. I think I can't remember his name, but it's the squid. They capture the squid guy, and they make it inside the tidal wave. Roadbuster at this point starts torturing the squid guy for information. You let us in, and Springer's like, "Stop! That's enough. This isn't how we do things anymore. And what you're a wrecker. What you gone soft on us now? Like, what about the guy who? And Roadbuster was the one who watched over him for 5 years, while Springer was in comatose state. So Springer's kind of saying, what about the guy who watched over me while I was out? Is this the bot who did this? And Roadbuster kind of makes a comment like, how are those two the same things? So, and Springer's like, we need to try doing things a little differently. Then he finally opened the door, and Springer makes a joke about, hope this guy, if I was in the same situation, hope this guy does the same thing for me. So RC, Roadbuster, Hubcap, Verity, and Springer all go into the noise maze, and the squid, I don't know what faction he's part of. And then we finally get back to Prowl, who's being tortured still, and finally getting information. And he finally, the data slug that was taken by the bunny is finally revealed, and Methosuslug now has the data slug. And then Prowl is ready to talk. So we see all that happening. We see that the Wreckers are finally getting the groove back. Just a lot of things that are happening. I give this issue again a 9 out of 10. It's really good. This and Last Stand of the Wreckers have a very different feel to it. This is more of a mystery, while Last Stand was kind of a straightforward action story. And I like the different style. I same writer, same kind of artist, kind of people, but I like the two different types of stories, and this idea, because it shows what they really are, what the Wreckers really are, and we see. And also the part where Springer is complimented by RC about his eyes was actually referenced in 0 Point, where Springer apparently may be Matrix compatible, because his eyes are like Matrix blue. He says Matrix is gone, we'll never find out. But, he has been asked to be Autobot leader a couple times, so that may be a case. But I'm going to log off now, since of the Wreckers 3 comes out next week. Once I read that, I'll get a review up. Hope you guys like my stuff. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.